Hi everybody, I'm Dawn from the 412th Test Wing Public Affairs. Thanks for joining us for a Facebook Live event. We're really excited to be here today at what is a very special place on Edwards Air Force Base. We're at the Air Force Flight Test Museum. And with me is Mr. George Welsh, who is our museum director. Good morning, George.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be out here today because it's a special day for the museum. It is the 16th anniversary since the museum opened in its present location.
Correct. 16 years ago, we had the ribbon cutting at the current location on Edwards Air Force Base.
And it was a monumental day. General Chuck Yeager was here. Retired Colonel Pete Knight was here.
Right.
General Joe Engle was here. General Reynolds was here. And, of course, the original curator of the museum, Mr. Doug Nelson, Chief Master Sergeant retired.
And unfortunately, Doug couldn't be here today. He's doing well in Arizona. Most of the others we honor inside for their contributions.
Yes, we're out in the air park of the museum because Edwards Air Force Base is located in the middle of nowhere and we could not get a Wi-Fi signal inside the building. But what we're going to do for you is we have a 4K 360-degree camera that we're going to put in there and get some surround shots for you guys so you can see inside later on. Now, the museum, the building, 16 years ago, was donated by your foundation that supports the museum. Can you tell us about the foundation?
Correct. The Flight Test Historical Foundation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission it is to support the museum. As a field museum of the Air Force, we're not actually funded by taxpayer money. To the larger degree, the foundation provides the support that we require. So the Air Force has said that they can build a building. It is then deeded to the Air Force for the museum to have a home.
And you have been filling it up with aircraft and other artifacts of the men and women who have flight tested here and the aircraft as well. But you're running out of space.
Right. Well, the last 16 years we've done a pretty good job. We've collected an amazing collection of aircraft. Every aircraft we have is actually a prototype, a test aircraft, or an X-plane, an experimental aircraft. And they all flew here. Every single one actually flew at Edwards Air Force Base. Our current facility has about 8,000 feet of exhibit area. We can only house about 2 aircraft out of the 85. So it's an amazing collection. We need more space. And so the foundation has been raising money to build a new location outside the West Gate, which would also allow access to the general public.
That's fantastic, because right now you have to have access to Edwards.
Correct. Correct. It's very difficult to get in on the base here. The public has to go through public affairs and have a public tour, but that's about it.
That's true. So if people want to get involved and help the foundation, there's ways to do that online?
Correct. Go to our website, edwardsmuseum.org. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. But any contributions that are made will directly go to support the construction of the new facility outside the gate. That first building alone, we are looking at 60,000 square feet, and our eventual goal is to make that the largest aerospace STEM education center in the entire region.
That is so exciting. Well, you're still growing your collection. Something new that's going to be coming is from our friends at NASA Armstrong on the north side of Edwards.
Correct. We've got an amazing relationship with NASA, and they have placed some of their artifacts in the museum. We currently have the iconic first lifting body, the M2F1, but soon to arrive will be the LLRV, the Lunar Landing Research Vehicle. This was the vehicle designed and built and tested here to eventually build the Lunar Landing Training Vehicle, which flew at the Johnson Space Center. Every astronaut that landed on the moon, that flew the LEM onto a lunar landing, learned to fly in the Lunar Landing Training Vehicle. And of course, yesterday was the anniversary of the first moon landing.
That is exciting. And so that's going to be coming very soon. Some other exciting things happening is for Edwards, Team Edwards. We're on the 16th of September, we're going to have what's called a birthday bash out here at the museum.
Correct. We're going to be at the center of this. It'll be the Air Force anniversary, Air Force birthday. And I think it's going to be a great event here for the base. So we're really looking forward to this.
It's not the birthday ball. That's a separate event, but the birthday bash will be out here. It's for Team Edwards members. It's going to be a training day, and they can come out and get historical information, educational information, and just enjoy our awesome heritage that we have out here. Additionally, we're going to have buses that are going to shuttle people out to the Poncho Barns ruins for a nice little tour there.
Correct. And one of our staff members, as well as staff members from environmental management, will be out there to talk about ponchos and that amazing the Happy Bottom Riding Club that was here for many years. I'd also like to throw a word out to those who support this museum here on base. We have a staff of 3, and that's it. So most of our work is actually performed by volunteers. And volunteers come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. I have many of them who are retirees who have access here, but I have many who are active duty personnel, and they may not volunteer on a regular basis, but every hour they donate is 1 hour closer to our new museum outside the West Gate, and is very much appreciated. Without volunteers, this museum would simply not survive.
That is so true. Well, George, thanks for having us, and congratulations on the first 16 years, and hopefully there's tons more to come.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much for being here.
And thank you for joining us today. Oh, we have Taylor Steele. Miss Taylor Steele's over there manning the camera for us, and we have a question, Taylor?
So from Mr. Kevin Westling, any info on the SR-71?
Mr. Kevin has asked about the SR-71.
Which one? The museum is fortunate enough to actually own 3. The aircraft behind us is a test vehicle, SR-71. This aircraft was flown primarily by the Air Force and Lockheed in a test capacity to prove the concept of the SR-71 reconnaissance aircraft. At our Blackbird Air Park in Palmdale, we also have 2 other Blackbirds. One is the original A-12 that was flown by the CIA. It is the #1 airframe, Article 121. The other one was a formerly operational SR-71.
Can you repeat that one? From Mr. James Green.
The Coronado was a Navy aircraft, and I don't even know if there are any survivors in the country. The Navy Museum at Pensacola may actually have one, and it may be the sole survivor. The aircraft that we feature at this facility all flew here at Edwards. They're part of flight test. They're not necessarily all Air Force, but if they did not fly at Edwards, we do not keep it in the collection.
Mr. Alan Kenny, do you often repaint the aircraft?
Unfortunately, the Mojave Desert is pretty harsh on these aircraft. Every airplane around us, the conditions of them, they don't look that good. Internally, they're sound. They're very solid. Externally, we get 60-mile-an-hour winds here on a constant basis. The sun, as it is today, is just beating on us. We're looking at 100-plus temperatures today. The aircraft paint schemes here last about 5 years, and then we have to repaint them. We have a separate restoration facility where much of that work is being accomplished by volunteers, but it's a slow process and it's very expensive. The new building will then allow us to restore an airplane, put it inside, and never really have to worry about it again. Just clean it off once in a while.
From Mr. Steve Varso, can anyone volunteer?
And this is Mr. Steve Varso, in case you can't hear Taylor. Can anybody volunteer?
To a certain degree, at Blackbird Air Park, which is our public extension in Palmdale, it is pretty much open to anybody. Unfortunately, on base, there are certain security restrictions, so the individual volunteering here has to go through a security background check. But if they pass that, there's no reason why they can't volunteer at the main museum.
Okay. Do we have any more questions? Okay. One more coming in.
From Mr. Alan Kenny, was the British meteor behind you flown at Edwards?
Sort of. The aircraft itself, this actual airframe, was active in the Antelope Valley for many, many years. It was privately owned. But if you were to take a step backwards to 1944, America's very first jet, the P-59, was flown here. During the testing process, at one point, we sent a P-59 to the United Kingdom for testing. They, in return, sent a Meteor back to us for testing. I can tell you we got the better part of that deal. The Meteor was a very effective aircraft. It is my goal to eventually modify this aircraft back to its 1943 configuration We have, in fact, talked to the Royal Air Force about helping, and they are interested. But again, not a big staff here, so some of these projects may take a few years to accomplish. But the Meteor did play an important role here during the war years.
Okay. Well, George, again, thank you so much. Congratulations and happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
And thank you, Ms. Taylor. If you could help us sign off here. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you do like what you see, please press the like button so you get notifications. Thank you all. Have a great day.